organization was instrumental in getting Obamacare passed. So now in 2014, what is next on your communist agenda?
As a campaign, we've actually been winding down. And so we've been doing something that most campaigns don't ever do, which is we decided not to exist forever. So we're winding down as an organization. So our next job is to help our organizations that have been working with us continue to do the work that they do. We set out to win healthcare reform. We did. We went about the business to implement and move it forward, and we did. And it would be ridiculous to say mission accomplished, but for us as a big coalition, we did what we were supposed to do.
Yes. And your communist agenda, what's next?
Well, that's a very good question, and I just have to say it's not a communist agenda. I don't know if you've been paying attention to the news. It's a Kenyan socialist agenda. Keep up, for God's sakes. Now, what's next? Retirement security's a big idea for folks. Right now, we're fighting fast track. We're fighting the trade agreement that would hurt labor standards, environment, pharmaceutical, the ability for us to negotiate over pharmaceutical prices.
Exacerbate income inequality.
It would. It would do that.
And one would think with that focus now from the administration that they wouldn't be trying to fast track something that would undermine it.
You wouldn't think that they would be working to negotiate something that would undermine it, yes, and then fast track it. And when it comes to the income inequality issue, it's a serious thing, obviously, and there's also wealth inequality. And so that's why we're working on retirement security as well. People don't make enough, people don't have a living wage now, and obviously they're not going to have a retirement wage later.
Pensions. So
we some people call them pensions, some people call it expanded Social Security.
So you would support Elizabeth Warren in calling for expanded Social Security?
We are all about that. All the
amongst
people,
others.
Yeah, all the people that are working around the issue of retirement security. One of the key things is to make Social Security stronger and to expand it. We have a program in place. Rich people can pay more. A lot of rich people like to do that. They're very good, the rich people, and they can pay more, and people can have a better income as they retire, which can't be more important.
Not only is it important, but it's foundational to the American dream, is it not? That you have a retirement, that you have some degree of dignity in old age.
What's foundational to the American dream begins earlier, obviously, right? The first thing is that our kids ought to be able to do better than we do. And that's not happening anymore. First generation where that's the case. So that's why what's fundamental to the American dream is making it possible for people to make a living, to have a living wage, to get into the middle class, and to do better than their parents. Part of that is to be able to go to college if you so choose and not be saddled with debt. And so for families right now, as everyone knows, a lot of folks, they're struggling to make ends meet themselves, struggling to help their kids get to college, and struggling to help their parents and their grandparents retire with dignity and respect and the resources they need to live.
How are you going to manage all that?
I'm going to work, as many people are, with community organizations and labor groups and civil rights and other organizations to do work all around the country to fight back the right-wing agenda, because those guys are revved up and doing everything they can to take everything good away from us and stop us from winning things that are better.
Do you really think that conservatives, right-wingers have that goal in mind? Don't you think that they believe that they are right in their approach? Or do you believe that they are nefarious at heart?
You're suggesting that that's somehow different. And, like whether or not they're nefarious at heart or they have an awful, mean-spirited agenda, that's the same thing. These guys are owned by the billionaire Koch brothers and other special interests. They're about the business of bringing down government. They want to have a country that's just a free country for profit-making and denies the rest of us the services that we need. And so, yes, I think they're very bad people, for the most part. To any of my conservative friends that are good people, hey, you're all right. Just stop hanging out with those very, very bad people that you do. But a lot of these folks, they know what they're doing. When they're fighting Medicaid expansion under the Affordable Care Act, they kind of get that. Rick Perry, 1 million people in his state would have health care. if he didn't deny them that just by saying no? And why is he doing that? So he can embarrass himself as a candidate looking for the nomination of the Republican Party. What else you got?
Undercurrent under the surface makes the mainstream get so nervous. It's time for purpose, for news to serve us, not with propaganda they use to hurt